Hey, so on the occasion of the coming new year, I wanted to make this short video about the way two influential philosophers related to New Year's resolutions, namely Friedrich Nietzsche and the Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci. In 1864, when Friedrich Nietzsche was 20 years old, he was studying philology at the University of Bonn and did not have enough money for a train ticket to visit his hometown for Christmas. Feeling nostalgic about the holiday celebrations of his childhood, he wrote a composition titled New Year's Eve, which you are hearing right now. In a letter home to his mother and sister, he wrote, "I love New Year's Eve and birthdays, for they allow us hours, which admittedly we can often create for ourselves, but seldom do, in which the soul can stand still and review a phase of its own development. Crucial resolutions are born in such moments. For a few hours, one is raised above time and almost steps outside of one's own development. One secures and documents the past, and receives the courage and resoluteness to resume traveling along one's path. It's lovely when the blessings and wishes of the relatives fall like a mild rain on these resolutions and decisions, the first seeds of the future." In other words, New Year's Eve for Nietzsche was an opportunity to self-reflect, to look back on one's past development, and then to decide what path your future development will take. He was, therefore, in principle, in favor of New Year's resolutions, and in January of the year 1882, at the age of 38, he wrote down a New Year's resolution which was included in his book The Gay Science. For the new year, today everyone allows himself to express his dearest wish and thoughts. So I, too, want to say what I wish for myself today, and what thought first crossed my heart. What thought shall be the reason, warrant, and sweetness of the rest of my life. I want to learn more and more how to see what is necessary in things as what is beautiful in them. Thus I will be one of those who make things beautiful. Amor fati, love of fate. Let that be my love from now on. I do not want to wage war against ugliness. I do not want to accuse. I do not even want to accuse the accusers. Let looking away be my only negation. And all in all and on the whole, someday I want only to be a yes-sayer." He wrote this when, after a period of intense illness and suffering, both his health and the weather suddenly drastically improved. And overwhelmed with gratitude, he looked back on this period of suffering and decided that this pain was just as important to his personal development as the greatest joy. It allowed him to rediscover happiness, to appreciate life anew, and so, with the beginning of a new year, he promised himself that he would try to see beauty in necessity, and thus to affirm life. Now, the influential Italian Marxist Antonio Gramsci was the type of person to strictly oppose the notion of New Year's resolutions. In 1916, he published an article titled, "I Hate New Year's Day." The way he saw it, such notions fragment our lives, force them into compartments, and make us see a break from one year to the next, when there is really continuity. These New Year's, quote, make us lose the continuity of life and spirit. You end up seriously thinking that between one year and the next, there is a break, that a new history is beginning. You make resolutions, and you regret your irresolution, and so on and so forth. This is true as much for one's personal life as it is for history more generally, which comes to be divided into discontinuous sections on the basis of historical dates. Quote, "The date becomes an obstacle, a parapet that stops us from seeing that history continues to unfold along the same fundamental unchanging line, without abrupt stops, like when at the cinema the film rips and there is an interval of dazzling light. That's why I hate New Year's. I want every morning to be a New Year's for me. Every day I want to reckon with myself, and every day I want to renew myself. No day set aside for rest. I choose my pauses myself, when I feel drunk with the intensity of life." In other words, to wait for the new year to make a change in one's life was, for him, equivalent to letting your personal development be dictated by external predetermined factors, namely tradition. And perhaps this is linked to Gramsci's emphasis on the importance of human agency in historical change, as opposed to mere economic necessity. Whereas Nietzsche saw tradition as compatible with, and sometimes even necessary for, self-determination, Gramsci's essay is built on an opposition between tradition and self-determination. Quote, "No day of celebration with its mandatory collective rhythms to share with all the strangers I don't care about. Because our grandfathers' grandfathers and so on celebrated, we too should feel the urge to celebrate. That is nauseating." Gramsci aspired to create his own causes for celebration, rather than ones handed down to him from the past, and to experience life according to his own rhythms, personal ones, rather than mandatory ones. And that's why he ends the essay by anticipating a socialist revolution, which, quote, "will hurl into the trash all of these dates which have no resonance in our spirit, and if it creates others, they will at least be our own, and not the ones we have to accept without reservations from our silly ancestors." I won't tell you who's right here, that's for you to decide. Perhaps you'll even want to synthesize the two thinkers, and decide that your New Year's resolution will be to stop artificially compartmentalizing your life into fragmented, predetermined periods. In any case, I hope you're happy. I hope that your experience of New Year's Eve will not be nauseating, and that the rest of your life will be life-affirming and full of yes-saying, in spite of everything. Thank you for watching, and for staying with me all of these years. Now, even though this is a really short video, I would like to thank some of my wonderful patrons for supporting me all this time, and to wish them happy holidays. Apply Quine That Doesn't Work on 37 Call, 404 Error Official Fan Page, A B, A Sociology of Tarot, Andre Oliva, Archive Transients, Bacchus, Celsius Enjoyer, Christopher, Clamtears, Colin Pauli, Daniel Zotner, Don Nolis, Dernsid, Evie Rosk, Eric Owens, Gub Kol Kol, Harbin Moths, Hong Kong Aesthetics, Ian Wenzel, Jonah Shi, John D. Pagani, Jones Indiana, Carl New, Katochny, Katy Perry is John Bennett Ramsey, Logan O, M. Lim, Mad Gold, Matthew Richards, Max Bendick, Nathaniel Lark, Nympharco Nectarine, Paul Windfer, Polecat, POV You Are Naked and Held Down by Lacan's The Real, Rachel Ann, Radical Q, Robert Seals, Slevin Olivares, Spiritfarer, Tendies123, The Empty Set, Venice, Victor Redco, Ver, Yavin Arba, Zim, as well as all of these beautiful patrons. So this is just something I wanted to quickly put out there before the year ended. Don't worry, the third part of my series on the German Revolution will be out next year, as well as my annual video of my top 10 favorite books I read this year. And I'll be making more videos on philosophy and theory as well. I'll see you soon. Thank you.